Today's review is Bakuman!
Bakuman!
It's the only comic I know that makes plain clothes look super hip. So this is a series that is kind of near and dear to my heart. For those of you who don't know, my childhood dream was to become a comic artist. But my goals have changed a lot since I was a kid. So now I just humbly draw my comics. For free? I don't really know how to do the links down there. This is a Shonen Jump comic. It's the same artist who did Death Note and also Hikaru no Go. And I was a fan of those two as well. It's really interesting how the art goes from this, in Hikaru no Go, being the oldest of the series that I had mentioned, to this. I think she's playing Jenga with my comics now. It's kind of also interesting how the first volumes kind of start out as a cartoony looking style of Death Note, and then kind of evolves into this art that looks nothing like Death Note. It kind of comes into its own. Bakuman also has the same writer that Death Note had. The number one thing I really like about Bakuman is that as the series goes on, you see less of the use of screen tone, which I guess could be said for any of the Shonen Jump series. Okay, let me just stop nerding out about comics right now, so I can actually talk about the plot. So the beginning of Bakuman kind of starts out with two boys. One is the aspiring artist, and one is the aspiring writer. And they both become partners to become aspiring mangaka, or more like real mangaka, like the kind that don't suck like me. And they actually succeed in getting a series in Ba. I know, a lot of you guys who are really not interested in comic making are probably wondering why you would find this series actually interesting. But have you ever watched like a behind the scenes of your favorite TV show or movie? Or what they do backstage for your favorite musician? No matter who it is, it's actually really interesting. The creative process and just the production of it all. I mean, how these actually end up in your hands. Blood, sweat, and tears, like literally. And the know-how of being super young and miraculously getting picked up. For those of you who are aspiring to become a comic artist in Japan. Because I assume the rules in your home country are probably a lot different. By probably, I mean definitely. For those of you who are saying that it's impossible as a foreigner to be picked up in Japan, I don't think that's true. And for those of you who totally think it is possible to be picked up in Japan without knowing any Japanese, no? Anyway, I really loved this series. It was really sad when it ended. To be honest, I could have done without some of the villains. The entire story was engaging, very educational. It tells you what tools that people usually use and how. The expectation of your skill level. And I really liked how it portrayed all of the artists as human beings. They all have their own lives and relationships. Which seriously, I think we need to be reminded every once in a while. Because every time an artist goes on break, we're like, why are they on break? Ah! And we kind of forget that they need to be well and healthy too. I know, it's really hard to believe that they're human when they're drawn all perfect. But they're human. Today's Japanese word is "れんさい," which means serialization. Serialization. れんさい. I think that's it for me today. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. これを片付けして。